My name is Melanie Callaway. I'm the wife of Todd Callaway. We've been together for 24 years. We've been married for 21. Todd is a man that loves his family dearly, and he tries to do and provide for his family, the best that he can. When we first met, we were friends for several years before we married, and you meet someone and you have like an instant connection. You feel like, that's your other half. Well, he was the Yellow House growing up boy in Fayette County, and I was the Yellow House growing up girl in Henry County. We decided to get married, and we were happy. We thought that was going to be but God had other purposes for us, and we had Lainey, and we thought, okay, that's fine, good, dandy. Then about 7 more years later, I got pregnant with Peyton, and he was our final piece to our puzzle. We didn't know it at the time, but he made our family complete. When I first had Peyton, when we first brought him home, normal. We knew nothing was wrong. The first year after his first flu shot, is when we realized something was wrong. He had started walking, and he got to where he couldn't walk. And we thought, it was maybe just his legs where he had the shots. And he started getting weaker, but we didn't know what. At 1 year old, you don't notice a lot of change in a child when they're not. He just wasn't walking. He could still get around. A very happy baby, a very good baby. A mother knows, father knows. We knew something was wrong. So for the first year, 2 years, 3 years, we did therapy at Children's once a week. And they would work with him, and they made braces for his feet, trying to get supports and see if they could help stabilize him, see if we could get him back walking. And he never walked on his own after that. Peyton's a fighter, so when he wasn't walking, you knew something was not right with that child, and the answer, not knowing, was not acceptable. So we sent him to a neurologist, and as soon as that lady looked at him, she had him stick out his tongue, and it quivered. She said, "No, what he has." Peyton has a condition called spinal muscular atrophy. There's 4 stages, 1 through 4, and 1 being the worst. And Peyton was classified as 2, and when we learned this diagnosis, it was devastating, because the day that they told us that, I thought it was a death sentence for my child, because I had prayed and prayed that wasn't the case, but when his tongue quivered, she told me that's what he had, to get ready for him to have to use a notebook to talk, that he wouldn't be able to swallow, he could eat on his own. If anyone knows anything about this disease, it robs their ability over time to breathe on their own, to talk on their own, because it's a condition that attacks your muscles, and your muscles are used for everything in your body. You look at other children, and you don't ask why, but I always wondered before we ever had, Peyton and Lainey. I had my children, and they were healthy, and you see other children out, and you wonder, how do they do it? Guess what? You do it. You find a way. God gives you the strength, and you do what you have to do to make it every day. Every day is different. Every day is a challenge. I would not take nothing for that child. He's my heart. All my children are my heart, but he is a special, special soul. He's like a little old man in a 14-year-old body, and he's a warrior. He's had 2 back surgeries, been cut from the top of his neck down to his pelvis, and got rods in his back, and never complains, never shows. Just, he doesn't ask, "Why me, Mama?" He's a trooper.
My name is Peyton. I'm 14 years old. When I was like about 2, I was diagnosed with spinal muscular dystrophy. And ever since then, I haven't been as normal as other kids. But I just try to live my life to the fullest every day. I make the most of it. I just try to do my best and pass in school and just do my best in life. And yeah, I just try my best every day to become stronger. And I like to play video games. I like to play outside with my niece and nephew. I like to go in the kitchen with my mom, watch her cook. I like to sample some of the food. Just say that most of the things I like to do to pass my time is to play video games, like come outside and just play, yeah. One of the things I really like to go outside is I like to spend time with like my niece and nephew, like I said, my dad, my sister. We all just play outside. My niece and nephew like to ride bikes with me. And like before I got my power chair, I couldn't really do anything outside. I was limited to what I could do. And once I got my power chair, I was able to do really anything outside, play with them, and make my life so much better. I just like to play outside with my niece and nephew and ride. They like to ride bikes with me. I like to ride around with them, and I like to spend time with my family, and yeah.
My name is Lainey Callaway. I am one of Peyton's older sisters. While Mama and Daddy are at work during the day, I stay with them and help them with his school and, make them lunch and all that stuff. His condition has definitely put a strain on everything, trying to focus on, what he wants to do and, how to help him do it. And just having everybody focus more on Peyton has sort of brought everybody closer together. Peyton and his dad's relationship is pretty close. They're essentially the same person. Again, they're like siblings, they pick and poke at each other. But, at the end of the day, Peyton can always count on him.
We're just, every day we come outside usually, unless he gets home really late. And we have a good relationship. And we both love each other really much. He's a good person. He helps me with a lot of stuff. And I don't think I could do what I do without him. And when I had surgery, he was there by my side in the bed with me and stuff. Just comforting me when I was scared. He always makes me feel better. And he's a good person. And I love him.
Todd has been there for Peyton this whole time. That's Peyton's rock. He's a daddy's boy. And Todd's a wonderful father. Me and him may not always see eye to eye, but when it comes to the children, it's family first. Unless you knew if Peyton was sitting on a couch and you walked in, you would not know nothing was wrong with that child. And but it's getting just harder. The older he gets, the more challenges. He cannot physically get himself into the tub. He cannot physically transfer himself out of there. His muscles are not strong enough. So he requires a lot of assistance. And the person he prefers is Daddy. Todd and Peyton's relationship is very strong. Peyton depends on Todd for most of his daily activities at the house. He helps the child bathe, has to take him to the, help to the bathroom, and Peyton cannot roll himself completely at night, so sometimes somebody has to get up, and usually it's Daddy that he calls. Peyton's always wanting to know, when's Daddy coming home? When's Daddy coming home? Peyton adores his daddy, and the feeling is mutual. Up until 3 years ago, we lived in a house that had 18 stairs going up to the front door. Well, Peyton cannot walk, so someone has to physically carry the child, over steps, anything. If he needs to be moved, he's not in a chair, he has to physically be moved. And Todd and I are not young now, and it's getting harder because he's getting heavier. We were lucky enough to find this house, and we have a wheelchair ramp to get him in, and he's got actually room to move in there. There's floor. He can run his little chair around.
Like, before I got my power chair, I couldn't do anything, like I said, and like I'd just be pushed around in public. And if we had like a van where I could take my power chair and I'd be more independent and I'd have more freedom in public, just be able to do whatever, like go out to eat freely. I just wouldn't have to rely on someone. And having a van, we could just go anywhere we wanted to and just have that freedom. So it means a lot to me.
I think Todd struggles with Peyton's condition of not being able to fix or help Peyton to make not normal, because that is normal for Peyton. You know, you as a parent, you like to fix your children or fix what's wrong with them or hurting them or anything like that. You want to be able to just make it better. I think that was the hardest thing in the beginning, that we couldn't fix it. Todd couldn't fix it. You know, he's the provider for the family. He's the one that's supposed to be the one to take care of things, and it's out of our control. But it's been a ride, but it's getting there. One of the things that we hope to do in the future is get a van that's wheelchair accessible for Peyton. That would just make life, I'm gonna say 100 times better, because now I leave my children at the house when I have to go run an errand or anything, or just going anywhere in general. But things run through Peyton's head that, you know, someone's picking him up and taking him out of the car, and people look at you, you know, and I'm not gonna say embarrassment, but, you know, people look, and people, you know, just unfortunately form all kinds of conclusions. If we had a van, that child could get out and go just like he was anyone else. It would have no limitations. We had one for 3 or 4 days, and that child was living his best life. He went to the grocery store with me. He went and ate out with me. We went to the pool party. Anything he wanted to do, he could physically go do it. If you can get him in that chair, he could go ride, and that child rode. He's just like, Mama, I can't wait to get a van. I mean, Mama, we can go to the park now. We can go do this. Mama needs to go start walking. He said we can go to the park, and he can ride. And so just the transport in general for Peyton to have a wheelchair accessible van would be life-changing. It would make him so happy that he could just be Peyton.
I want to go to New York really bad and just experience the city. Maybe fly on a plane again. I like flying. Just really just go to New York. That's my biggest thing, and that's really it. Just go to New York. That's my biggest thing that I want to do. If I had one thing to say to a stranger that didn't know me, it would be to don't give up until you try at least once. Don't give up. That's probably the biggest thing, and just, you don't know until you try something at least once. Not giving up means keep trying and trying until you get it down, or either you know you just physically can't do it. And just not giving up just means that you're a strong person, and you just don't give up until you try and try over and over again. You don't know what people are going through. Just give them the benefit of the doubt and just be nice to everyone.